This is my room, and I'm gonna try to turn this into a proper magical wizard study. See, I like how it looks at the moment. It's dark and it's cozy, but it's also very IKEA fantasy. Just look, IKEA, IKEA, IKEA. And I mean, nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't give off that whimsical vibe, does it? Never heard of an IKEA wizard? Okay, here's the plan. We're gonna tear everything down and build entirely new walls everywhere. And I'm thinking lots and lots of bookcases and magical artifacts. I'm thinking a fireplace over here and a staircase over there, and maybe even a giant fake window at the back. Just think how cool that's gonna look. Oh, and before you comment like, Martina, isn't that technically your studio and not your room? Well, I'm here all the time except for when I sleep, so it's basically my room. Fight me. Of course, both Hansi and I will be working on this, and we're gonna get some more help later because this project is huge. Like, a lot of the things we do are huge, but this takes the cake. But first, we gotta remove everything back here. So let's go! Look how sad it looks. So empty. Okay, so I want to try to make this room transportable so I can like pack it up and just bring it with me wherever I go. Well, maybe not like in a suitcase, but like if we move somewhere, we can just bring it with us. Oh shit. That should be Aaron. He's actually a friend of ours who's a professional set builder, and he's been so kind to agree to help us out for the next couple of days. Hello!
Hello!
Ready to build some walls?
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome!
So.
And also Hansi has rented a van so we can actually bring all the stuff we need over to the workshop. Materials check, so now let's build. Guys, look at this. All the walls are done. Oh my god, I can't believe how fast we got all these walls up. Like one day. And these are all just like 2x1 frames with a thin plywood sheet on top. So the challenge now is really to try to take all this plywood and turn it into something that actually looks like a wizard study. How? Day 2. Okay, so there's basically 3 main elements to make. Staircase, window, fireplace. All right, staircase time. So where do we begin?
All right, so to get the curve on the staircase, we're going to glue up 3 sheets of ply, but first we need to come down the table saw.
Let's go! Now we're just gonna glue one more curve on the outside. Thank you, tripods, for all your support. Now, we gotta take him down.
Okay, so if we are to follow Martina's sketch, we are gonna have to make a lot of books to put in the background. And it's not like we've never made books before, but the thing is, we're gonna make literally hundreds, and we don't wanna waste that much material, let alone the time it would have to take to make hundreds of leather-bound books. No, these are pure props. So what I've done here is I have 2 stacks of XPS foam on top of each other that I've glued together using some spray glue, and we have our trusty foam cutter. So let me show you how it works. Let it heat. Once it's heating up, you can just push it through. It's super easy. So what we have to do is we have to print out some spines of books, and then we're gonna glue them onto the foam, and then hopefully we have something that can resemble the back of a book. So let's go do that. Some paper. And there we have it. It almost looks like a prop from a video game because it has like these dragged out textures, but it's fast. And now we just have to make 100 more of these. Yay.
Good morning, everyone. It's day 3 in my plywood mansion. Very beautiful, very well decorated. For some reason, Nori is just in love with these steps. He keeps running up and down them all the time. Very cute. Anyway, we completed the entire base for the staircase yesterday, and Aaron also put together the fireplace. Oh my god! It looks amazing. This very fireproof plywood fireplace. So what we're gonna begin with today is the window. We gotta cut it out. Window time. Now that we have the hole cut, we're just gonna remove these beams and try to reinforce it a little bit on the back. We have a window, and I have a super fancy design planned out for this, which we're gonna make in foam. But before we can do that, we have to figure out how to make the foam look like wood.
Okay, so I think I finally know how to make the wood that we want to make. It's a bit complicated, it's a few steps, but bear with me. So the first thing I did to make the texture was to use a wire brush along with a box knife to make the deeper grooves. Then to make it a bit more structural, I used some PVA glue along with some orangey color for the darker parts and then a sandy paint for the lighter brown one. And then on top we just use a bit darker paint to make it pop along with some black wash and a regular old dry brush. So that's how we made the wood. That I've done it once, we just have to do it a million more times to basically cover up the entire room that we're building. This is gonna be fun.
We've cut and textured so much foam, and now it's time to assemble it. This is the fun part! Let's go! It's been over a week of only texturing and cutting foam, but it's finally starting to look like something. The thing is though, we still have two main problems left. The window and the fireplace. I just feel like I need a little break from all the foam work. Starting to get a little old at this point. So I'm gonna sleep on those problems and in the meantime start working on some of the details, which I'm so excited about. Okay, so one of the main elements I've thought a lot about is I really want to make like a bronze statue. I just really think it fits that, you know, library wizard vibe. And this ties in perfectly with the ad for today's video, which is Witchsong miniatures. They really got some absolutely amazing miniature models, like super high in detail. And I just thought this Sunlight Seraph bust was just beautiful. I mean, look at the silhouette of that thing. Can you imagine that in bronze? I've actually already printed the main body. We gotta clean this up. Oh god. It's almost too big for the Hansi. I need some help. I thought the whole thing would fit.
That's what she said!
Det går bra att se. Ooh.
It all came off.
The whole point was I tried to make this as large as I could for the printer we have. You obviously don't need a giant 3D printer to print Witchsong's miniatures. Really, their models are perfect whether you already know a lot of 3D printing or nothing. You're just getting started. And now cleanup. What I think is cool about Witchsong is that you can subscribe for only $1 a month. And in return, you get a single hyper detailed model, including a stat sheet for tabletop gaming, if that's your thing. And I mean, their models are just beautiful. Like, have a look for yourself. Look at that. I mean, it needs a little bit of cleanup on the sides here. I'm just gonna sand it away a little bit. Normally I'd put this in the UV curing chamber, but Yeah, no. So we'll put you outside. But there you go, little friend. Enjoy your tanning. Witchsong have also been so kind that they've given all of you nerd forgers a bunch of free miniatures if you sign up for their $1 monthly subscription. So if you do, what you'll get is, of course, the June monthly miniature model to be revealed, as well as the Ascended Great Wolf and the Faceless Queen as part of the welcome pack. But since you're one of us, you also get these 4 amazing additional models for free. That's awesome! And also, if you want, you can download the Faceless King for free without signing up or anything, so you can check them out first. I think you should be good now. Let's get some paint on. Base coat is dry, so let's paint. First, we cover everything in dark brown. Just airbrush it all over the place, and we're left with something that kind of looks like chocolate. Don't eat it, Martina. Stop. I then mixed up this really nice, dirty yellow brown mid-tone. And kind of just brushed it on pretty heavily everywhere, just avoiding the little nooks and crannies, because I don't want this to look like literal. And a final touch, adding some bronze metallic paint on all the little high points to make it shiny. Oh my god, I was so tempted to just like smack on a bunch of this, but in this case, for once, I think less is more. And you know, I think the result turned out really realistic. And boom, it's bronze, baby! One final note about Witchsong miniatures is that once a year they like to do a charity project for a cause in need. And this year they asked us to pick the charity. We decided on Give Well, so starting from today throughout the end of the month, for every subscription Witchsong Miniatures gets, $1 will be donated to Give Well. They're an amazing cause, and I think it's a really cool opportunity to spend $1 on something cool and at the same time donate to charity. So thank you so much to Witchsong Miniatures, you're awesome, and if you're interested, make sure to check out their My Mini Factory page and join their tribe. I'll leave a link to it down below. So that's one decoration piece down, and we're gonna make a lot more later. But now, let's sort out this window and fireplace. Alright, our mission is to make a detailed window. Step 1, we find the design. We got it. Step 2, divide the design into 6 parts and let our laser do the work. Perfect. Thanks, William. Step 3, join the parts together, cut it to size, and insert it into its slot. Success. Dude, this window is my favorite thing in this entire place. It still has to dry up because I've added some acrylic filler around the edges just to fill in some gaps. And I also have to complete the little half-moon windows on the sides. But before we do that, let's attack the fireplace. There's basically 3 main elements to this fireplace. Down here, we're gonna have some square stones. On here, we're gonna have a wooden mantelpiece. All the way up here, we're gonna have individual little cobblestones. We know how to make the wood, so we basically just have to figure out how to make stone. Okay, let's just begin with something easy, covering this whole bottom part in foam. Break it down. Ta-da! Main shape done, so now we just need to make stones. What I'm thinking, instead of like cutting this into individual stones, I'll just take a saw, cut a strip, and then carve individual bricks between the cuts. Should be pretty easy. We got our main layout ready, so I think I'm just gonna take all of this down, lay it out flat, and then do some more carving on the stones. See, before, after. I really just like cut off the corners here, so they're a bit more angled, and they already look a lot more like stone. We need more texture. I got myself a rock, and now we texture. Looking so much better! I also cut out this round shape for the cobblestone, and I'm thinking we can just texture it the same way. Just being a little gentler this time. Dude, that looks so good! We're gonna need a ridiculous amount of cobblestones to cover up this entire thing. So I'm gonna ask Hansi and Aaron to help me out making all the stones, texturing everything, and then we can assemble the fireplace. Let's go!
Okay, so recently we've been to Andy Axe's studio where he showed us something called virtual production. If you haven't seen the result of that, you should definitely check it out. It turned out super cool. But I really want to make something similar in our studio. So the idea is basically that we are gonna stick a screen in there, like a television or something, and the background on that television is gonna be tracked along with the camera, so it looks like it's actually appearing like a window over there. The thing is, I don't really know anything about virtual production or VR at all, so I have a friend helping me. This is Nils, and he's gonna help me set up everything, and hopefully we can get it all done. Okay, so we are mostly finished setting up everything we need for our 3D background. Like we have the trackers in the ceiling, Nils is working on the software, everything is looking good. The only thing we're missing is an actual 3D background. And we're gonna use Unreal Engine to make that. I just don't know how to use Unreal Engine. So that's kind of a problem. Oh wait, is that William Foucher? Hey William!
Hey!
Hey, do you want to help me with my virtual production setup?
Sure, why not?
Yes, awesome! We got him! Okay, so William is a super talented VFX artist, and he actually scanned our entire 30K brick castle and turned it into a 3D model. You should definitely check his video out on that, because it's super cool. Hey William!
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome!
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, let's get this ball rolling.
Foam work is complete, finally. So let me show you around my nice little purple castle. Beginning over here, you can see we've started to add some books in the shelves. We're gonna try to like fill everything here. Down here, of course, we have the fireplace. We have a little more to add on the inside here, but I think the stone texture turned out so nice. And also up here, we have all the cobblestone that we just put some Sculptamold in between to kind of blend them together. And then of course we have the beautiful beams going to the ceiling. Oh, so nice. And my favorite, the window. Oh, I'm super happy with how the little half moon windows turn out as well. Then we have the bench here. Aaron made a nice little alchemy stand. And of course we have our curved stairs, textured steps that you can actually walk on. Oh, I forgot, almost. The bench! Look at that bench. So we just cut it down a bit and added some legs to the front. And I think it looks so cool and so like massive. I can't believe all the foam work is done and we are ready to paint. There's just a couple things we have to find first. We're gonna need a lot of decoration items. We already have some books and stuff to put on the shelves, but I also wanna like put a lot of clutter in there and just cover up the walls. So I'm gonna go to a couple of secondhand stores and see if I can find some cool stuff. Alright, first up, our mission is to try to find some gold frames and maybe some cool decoration items. There's so many people here. I'm very awkward filming. Okay, found the frames. These are perfect. I'm gonna have them all. Yes. Look at all those frames. Dude, this store is incredible. Do you see what I see? That's a cauldron stand. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Marita Brukthandel. 10 out of 10. Really cool store. Hello, I have brought frames. Look at these frames. They're so pretty.
Nice. Oh, they look so good.
I know. Now that's what I call a successful quest. Look at all those beautiful frames. We have these nice metal handles, some potion bottles, and a bunch of these tiny little cauldrons. What do you think, Nori? Great success. I think we have all the decoration pieces we need, and my god, I cannot wait to put it inside the final set. And you know what that means? It means it is finally time for the painting! Yes! Let's go! Base coat is done, so now it's time for the midtones. And now, time for the wash. And now we dry brush. It is complete! Finally! Seriously, we've been working for 3 weeks on building this set. 90% of the time it's looked like all the ugly stages. There's been so many long ugly stages and it felt like it would never be good, but it turned out so nice in the end. I have no idea how many books we have. There's probably hundreds. So many potions, so many scrolls, so many picture frames. I feel like everywhere you look there's something to look at. And I love it. I want my house to look like this now. That's the problem. Don't do it, Martina. Seriously. And my favorite part, the window. Pick up the camera. Oh, it looks so good on the viewfinder. It looks so good. I love it. And just think about the potential. Think about so many backgrounds we can make. Oh my god. Are you ready to see the final result? I know I am. Huge thanks to Aaron, Nils and Will for helping us out. This would never have been possible without them. And Aaron and his friend Nate recently made this ridiculous giant fork. It's super cool, so check it out. Just a little side note. This whole project wasn't really just about having a cool room. I wanted to challenge myself in building something big and challenging myself creatively, emotionally, and just trying new techniques and learning new things. And kind of what started this whole thing was after we went to Universal, we saw all these amazing sets and I had to make something myself. It's definitely been such a fun and frustrating and awesome experience, and I'm super happy we went through with it. And finally, thank you so much to our patrons for continuing to support us. You guys are awesome, and maybe, just maybe, you might find one of your names on the books here. And now, it is time! Let's have a look at the final result!